You know the feeling, right? You sit down to play a game, just for an hour, maybe two, and then you blink, and suddenly the sun is coming up. You've lost an entire night, and hey, maybe you even spent a little real money along the way. So here's the big question. Was that an accident, or was that entire experience designed? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the hidden psychology of modern video games. And wow, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not that you suddenly lost all your willpower. It's that you are interacting with a system specifically engineered to grab your attention and, well, override your better judgment. So how exactly do they pull it off? So first, we have to kind of reframe what we're looking at. A lot of modern games aren't just simple entertainment anymore. Think of them more like carefully constructed psychological environments. The goal isn't just for you to have fun. It's to keep you playing and spending. By pushing all the right buttons, your brain is hardwired to respond to. All right, our first stop is probably the most powerful trick in the book, one that's borrowed directly from the casino floor. This is all about hacking your brain's most basic reward system using one incredibly powerful tool: unpredictability. Here's the core concept. Your brain releases that feel-good chemical, dopamine, not just when you win something, but in anticipation of winning something. It's the uncertainty, the possibility of hitting the jackpot, that is just so incredibly addictive. It's the maybe that gets you. And you see this everywhere. Opening a loot box, getting that random rare item drop after a tough boss fight, ripping open a digital card pack, they're all just digital slot machines. You pull the lever, and the sheer randomness of the outcome is what keeps you coming back thinking, okay, just one more try. But this is where it gets really wild. You'd think winning feels the best, right? Nope. Almost winning can actually be a way more powerful motivator. That near miss where you almost got the ultra rare skin sends a massive spike of dopamine to your brain. It doesn't register as a failure. It registers as a sign that you're so close. And it basically screams at you to try again, right now. Okay, now let's look at a similar idea that really controls the rhythm of a lot of multiplayer games. This isn't just about what you win, it's about when you win. It's the reason you can be on a massive, frustrating losing streak and still just can't quit. This is skill-based matchmaking in a nutshell. These systems are often tuned to manage your win-loss ratio. See, if you win all the time, you get bored. If you lose all the time, you get frustrated and quit. But if the game gives you one super easy, satisfying win after a string of brutal losses, that unpredictable reward feels amazing. It's not luck, it's a carefully managed loop designed to keep you hooked. So next up, let's talk about the mechanics that can make a game feel less like a fun hobby and more like a second job. This whole section is about how games can turn your own investment of time and effort against you to make you feel obligated to play. I mean, it's a question a lot of us have probably asked ourselves. You're hundreds of hours deep. The initial fun is kind of gone. You're really just logging in to do your daily quests. But for some reason, you just can't bring yourself to stop. The answer lies in a really common logical trap. This is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful psychological hooks in gaming. You've put in so much time, maybe even money, that quitting now feels like you're admitting all that effort was a total waste. The game cleverly turns you into a kind of high-functioning prisoner, where you start confusing the effort you put in yesterday with an obligation you have today. And when you break it down like this, you can see just how backward the logic is. You're not playing anymore for some future fun, you're playing to justify a decision you made in the past. You're sacrificing your free time right now just so you don't feel bad about the time you spent a month ago. Now, that feeling gets amplified by another one of our brain's little quirks. We are hardwired to want to finish things. An open loop, an unchecked box, it creates this tiny bit of mental tension, like an itch you just have to scratch. And oh man, game designers are masters at creating those itches. And here's exactly how they do it. That endless quest log, that map that's sitting at 98% complete, that battle pass with just a few tiers left to go. These things aren't just tracking your progress. They're designed to be a constant, nagging reminder of unfinished business, creating that psychological itch that keeps you playing long after the fun is worn off. Okay, so we've covered the systems that manipulate your time. Now let's move on to the ones designed specifically to manipulate your wallet. These mechanics tap into some really primal human instincts to pressure you into making impulse buys. So why on earth would someone spend $20 on a virtual hat that does absolutely nothing? Because you're not just buying pixels, you're buying status. When you drop into a game lobby and you're the only one rocking the default skin, it can trigger this deep, ancient anxiety about where you fit in the social hierarchy. You're paying for social proof to avoid that uncomfortable feeling of being at the bottom of the digital tribe.
Ah, the classic pressure cooker. Putting a ticking clock on a limited time item is a genius way to hijack your brain's survival instincts. See, our minds evolved to see scarce resources as a big deal. So the game creates this artificial scarcity. The clock starts ticking down, it bypasses all your rational thought, and the fear of missing out, FOMO, forces you to make an impulse buy.
And finally, let's talk about why we pay for so-called convenience. This whole thing is built on a really simple quirk of the human brain. We are wired to want relief right now. We value immediate gratification way more than some larger future benefit. Basically, our brains are impatient. But here's the most cynical part of all this. The problem that you're paying to solve, it was often created on purpose. Developers can intentionally design the middle of the game to be a slow, boring, tedious grind, and then, what a coincidence, they offer to sell you the solution. You think you're buying a time saver, but what you're really paying is a tax on an artificial annoyance they built into the game from the start. So after hearing all of this, what are we supposed to do? Is the big takeaway to just quit gaming forever? No, not at all. The real goal here is to shift from being a passive participant into an informed, conscious player. Look, understanding these mechanics is what gives you your power back. The next time you feel that urge to buy one more loot box, or you feel that nagging pull of the sunk cost fallacy, you can recognize it for what it is. You can see the system at work. And that awareness is what breaks the spell and lets you make a conscious choice. And really, that's the question we're left with. Knowing that these games are often designed to hack your attention, your time, and your wallet, it doesn't have to ruin the fun. In fact, it can put you back in the driver's seat. The choice of how you play, when you play, and why you play, that choice becomes yours again.